कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयत्मुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जन्माद्यस्य यतन्वयादितरतश्चार्तेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदयादिकवये मूयन्ति यत् सूरया तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्माप्रोजितकैतवत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापोत्रयन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा पररीश्वरा सद्यो हृदयवृद्ध अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरवो रसिका भुवि भावुका। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नित्यानन्दमहं नौमि सर्वानन्दकरं परं हरिनामामृतं देवमवधूताशिरोमणिम् आनन्दलीलामयविग्रहाय हेमाम्बदिव्यछविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसाप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today next 1 hour we'll be covering 2.5 cantos. This will be our last session. नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. So yesterday we were discussing about the wonderful pastimes of Rukmini, and then gradually we discussed a lot of wonderful pastimes about how other different devotees came in contact with Krishna. So Rukmini, she stopped Krishna from eating the morsel of food which was brought by Sudama. So when Krishna took the first bite, that was sufficient for Sudama to grant him everything from this world, all the opulence. So when Krishna took the second bite and he wanted to eat it, Rukmani stopped him. The reason was that the rice was very hard and Lord's mouth is very, very soft. So Rukmani could not bear the pain that how can Lord eat this? So Rukmani, she proposed in front of Sudama and everybody that, my dear Lord, your friend has brought a treasure from his house and you want to eat it all on your own? You don't want to distribute that? We have a very big family of 16,100 wives and their children and everybody. So this is insufficient. So please, my dear Lord, please allow me to distribute this Mahaprasad to everyone. Very intelligently, Rukmini took that morsel of food from the hands of the Lord and started distributing it to everyone. So all the queens of Dwarka, their children and everybody had the bhoga or prasad, or which was brought by Sudama, and Krishna ate that, so it's Mahaprasad and it was distributed to everyone. So everybody ate that. And everybody was in ecstasy. So then further there is instruction about, then in the discussion about Krishna Balram meeting the inhabitants of Vrindavan in the Kurukshetra, and how Draupadi, she meets the queens of Krishna, and then there is a lot of discussion between them. And the sages taught at Kurukshetra. In the Kurukshetra, during the Makara Sankranti, there was a big festival and all of them gathered together, and that's where Krishna, Srimati Radharani and basically all the Brajavasis, all the Dwarkavasis, Hastinapur Vasis, everybody met there. And then there was a very interesting pastimes of Subhadra kidnapping Arjuna. Not Krishna kidnapping Subhadra, I'll say Subhadra kidnapping Arjuna. Because when Duryodhana came back, when Balramji came back from meeting Duryodhana, he was so convinced that Subhadra should get married to, Duryodhana. And she had no plans to marry Duryodhana. But Balramji insisted. Balramji went and proposed Vasudevji, proposed Devaki, that it will be nice if Subhadra gets married to Duryodhana. And Arjuna and Subhadra were already in love with each other. But only it was not confessed in public. But now Balram's proposal came in such a way, and it is very difficult to say no to Balram. Because Balram is very insisting on certain things. When he likes it, he just forces things. So that's Balaram with the Bal. So Krishna very intelligently, he tricked Dauji. So he told Arjuna that you have to kidnap Subhadra. And he told Subhadra that when Arjuna comes to kidnap you, make sure you are driving the chariot. So everything happened as discussed, and then the news spread everywhere, and Balram got very upset, and Balram wanted to go and kill Arjuna. So he took out his club and everything, and he said, I want to kill Arjuna. How did he do this? This is against the integrity and everything. Started speaking a lot of things. And then Balram, then Krishna intervened, and Krishna said, hey, whoever reported, come here. So, who kidnapped whom? I want to know the picture. Who was driving the chariot? He said, Subhadra. I said, really? So that means it's not Arjuna kidnapped Subhadra, it's Subhadra kidnapped Arjuna. And then Krishna got on Balram's case that how can she, your sister, kidnaps my friend? And then Balram was speechless. I say, you nonsense. You always twist and change things around. It's very difficult to trust you. And then there is another incident about Lord Shiva saved from Vrakrasur in the 10th canto. Lord Shiva had a very devoted devotee called as Vrakrasur. He was performing a lot of intense tapasya for pleasing Lord Shiva. Intense tapasya. And still Lord Shiva, the Ashutosh, he was not getting pleased. So, Lord Shiva, he, Vikrasur, what he did, he started offering himself to the deity of Lord Shiva, to Shivlinga. He started offering the flesh, and then different flesh, and then different parts of the body. And then finally, he cut off his head and offered it to Shivalinga. And when the head was put in the Shivalinga, Lord Shiva manifested. Lord Shiva, when he manifested there, he came with his good wife, Parvati. And that was the whole problem. So this Vritrasur was such a lusty person that when he saw Mother Parvati, he became very lusty, and he thought that what this beautiful woman is doing with this man, Lord Shiva, she should be my wife. But how can he say? So Vritrasur proposed to Lord Shiva that Lord Shiva asked, what do you want? And he said that I want a boon by which if I keep my hand on someone's head, he should burn into ashes. And the Lord Shiva said, what an unusual boon you're asking. He said, okay, so be it. And then Vritrasura started chasing Lord Shiva himself. Because he wanted the wife of Lord Shiva. He said that I want your wife and I want to finish you off. And then he started running behind Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was running and Vritrasura was behind. Lord Shiva was running, Vritrasura was behind. Lord Shiva was running, Vritrasura was behind. They went around everywhere, and then finally Lord was praying to Krishna, Krishna, please save me from this Vritrasura. And then very interestingly, Krishna comes as Vamanadev again. And Vamanadev goes to that Vritrasura, hey, excuse me. You look very intelligent. You look very smart. What is happening? I'm seeing Lord Shiva is running and you are behind him. What's going on? Why are you mad behind Lord Shiva? You are a useless person. What has happened? Why are you going behind this person? Oh, Vritrasura said, oh, really? He's useless? Acha. What happened? Tell me everything. I'm here to console you. Then Krishna was, Vamanadev was taking care of him. Oh, my dear Vritrasura, what happened? Come on, tell me. He said, I did this intense tapasya and the Lord Shiva came and then he offered me a boon, and whosoever hands I touch will get into ashes. And Vamanadev told, have you looked at your hands? Do you see any changes in that? And how can you believe on Lord Shiva? Since the time Daksha has cursed Lord Shiva, all his power has gone in vain. And you stupid, you are worshipping Lord Shiva, you should better worship Brahma. Huh? He could have better given you a boon. Yeah, but now what to do? Have you checked? Have you tasted on someone? He said, no. Just, try to put your hand on yourself and see nothing is going to happen. Did you, come on, it's your hand, and have you seen any changes in your hand after receiving a boon? Any symptoms came? No. Then how are you believing him? Just try to put your hand on yourself and see nothing is going to happen. And he puts hand on himself and he vanquishes. So then comes the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are wonderful pastimes. And the first thing is the curse of Yadu dynasty. The Yadu dynasty was cursed by the sages. The biggest problem of Lord Krishna was not establishing dharma. I said this before. His biggest problem was not to annihilate the miscreants in the world. His biggest problem was the Yadu dynasty himself. Because nobody could defeat Yadu dynasty. They were very powerful. So Krishna has to devise his own plans to vanquish the Yadu dynasty from the planet. So once all these personalities, all the young kids of the Yadu dynasties, Samba and so many others, they went to meet the sages and they were tried to tease them. Samba was disguised as a pregnant woman. and all the others, they took Samba in front of the sages where Narada, Vishwamitra and so many great personalities were sitting. And they said that, can you predict the future of this pregnant woman? What is she going to give birth to? A girl or a boy? And the sages angrily said, Musil. They said that, mace, you call it mace, right? A mace is going to take birth from your womb. And as soon as they removed everything, it was a mess. Mace and mess. So the Yadu dynasty's life was mess. They cursed that this mace is going to destroy the Yadu dynasty. And the news went to Krishna. And Krishna smilingly accepted that because it was his desire. Whatever was his desire, it came from the mouths of the sages. So then, further what happened, that Narada visits Dwarka. Narada, the traveling mendicant, he finally visits Dwarka and he instructs Vasudevji on the principles of Bhagavad Dharma. Vasudeva had a question that how can I meditate on the Supreme Lord? And then Narada Muni glorifies his fortune and then starts describing about the principles of Bhagavad Dharma. And while describing those, he gives references of the history of the conversation between Navayogendras and Maharaj Nimi. Navayogendras are one of the biggest propagator of Bhagavad Dharma. They are the 9 sons of who? Of Rishabhadev. And they are still traveling all across the globe, all over the universe, propagating the science of Bhagavad Dharma. So the conversation between the Navayogendras and Nimi Maharaj was described. And then Lord Krishna, when he was explaining lot of things about the conversation, about how one can get liberated from the illusionary energy, about how Drumila explains about, Drumila, one of the rishis, explains about the Lord's various incarnations to Lord Nimi, to Nimi Maharaj. And in that, he also explained about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and so many others. And then Narada concludes his teaching to Vasudeva and says that you are very fortunate to have Krishna as your son. So just enjoy your transcendental bliss as a father, and you will definitely get liberated. So don't worry. And then further, Yadu dynasty retires to Prabhasa Kshetra. Lord Krishna, he indicated to the Yadu dynasty that it is time has come that we have to go to Prabhasa Kshetra because of the curse. Because of the curse we have received in our dynasty, that curse needs to be nullified. And the only way that the curse can be nullified is that you go to Prabhasa Kshetra, perform some charity, serve the Brahmanas, and by their blessing something can happen. So all of you are kindly requested that all of you can go to Prabhasa Kshetra. So before, I forgot something. So before, the Lord instructed them to go to Prabhasa Kshetra, when Lord was explaining about, when this whole discussion was going on about the curse and everything, at that time Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Dev, Indra and so many others, they came there. And they requested the Lord, they offered prayers to the Lord and they requested the Lord that now you may please wind up your pastimes and please go back. If you still want to continue here, you are free to do because it's your world, you have created it, you are maintaining it, you are annihilating it. But as per our need is concerned, our need is fulfilled. You have established Yudhishthira Maharaj as a king, so now you can please go back to your abode. And please, while you return, please go from our houses. So that was one request the Lord made, the Brahma and everybody made, that when you go back, please visit our houses on the different planetary system, then you reach your whole abode. And then after Brahma and everybody went, then Krishna called up Yadu dynasty. And then Krishna called Yadu dynasty, he met, had a nice meeting, had a nice discussion, encouraged them, inspired them, and told them that let's go to Prabhasa Kshetra. And he told, pack your bags, we have to go to Prabhasa Kshetra, do charity and everything. And then when Uddhava was noticing all these things happening, that Brahma coming, Yadu dynasty is been requested to go to Prabhasa Kshetra, Uddhava immediately understood that Krishna has a plan, and Krishna's plan is to wind up his pastimes. So Uddhava goes and discusses in private about some different subject matters, and he and he requests the Lord, that please try to change your plans of going. And he said, no, Uddhava, I have to go. I have spent sufficient time on the planet Earth. But don't worry, I will come. I'll manifest again in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's where the discussion between Uddhava. So there are two discussions between Uddhava and Lord Krishna. This one is happening in Dwarka. Nobody has yet gone to Prabhasa Kshetra. Don't get confused. So Uddhava Gita was spoken where? In Dwarka. So the whole conversation between of the 11th canto is where? In Dwarka. So don't get confused. Many people have even, they say that, the whole conversation took place in Prabhasa Kshetra at the time of when Maitreya Muni was there. No. That is a different conversation which took in front of Maitreya and Uddhava. I'll explain you. So, and then in that conversation, Lord Krishna explains about the story of Pingla, about a prostitute and so many different things. So in that incident, there is a description about the 24 gurus. Uddhava, Krishna informed him that Yadu Maharaj once met Avadhuta Dattatreya, Lord Dattatreya. Yadu Maharaj, the great Yadu, in whose dynasty Lord Krishna has appeared, Yadavas. So he met whom? Dattatreya. Who is Dattatreya? Lord's incarnation. And he was lying on the ground. And he was not making any attempt to go and earn, bring food, eat, cook, nothing. He was simply lying there on the earth. And as a Paramhamsa Avadhuta, he was completely depending on the Supreme Lord's mercy. And at that time, Yadu Maharaj comes and inquires from him, and that time in their conversation, he reveals about the 24 gurus of him he takes shelter of. Now there are 24 gurus. A person, if he wants, he can learn from everybody, right? So even in the material world also, and we are observing a lot of different things, lot of different incidences, lot of life of different people. So if we want to learn, we can learn from their life also. So here Dattatreya is saying that I have taken shelter of 24 gurus. Who? Earth, air, sky, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, python, the sea, the moth, the honeybee, elephant, honey thief, the deer, the fish, the prostitute, Pingla, the kurura bird, the child, the young girl, arrow maker, serpent, spider, and wasp. These are my 24 gurus. So we can learn from everybody. And what lessons Dattatreya Muni has derived, that is in detail in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then further after that discussion was going on, and then Lord Krishna explains his, there was a time when 4 Kumaras inquired from Brahmaji, and Lord Brahma was not able to answer the questions which were asked by 4 Kumaras, because he was bewildered because of the creation, which in the creation process, in the management, people get bewildered. And although you might be very learned, but if you're not in touch regularly with the studies and all, then you might forget what the instructions were there. So as a sadhaka, as a student, one should regularly be studying scriptures, regularly be, preparing, not just for giving classes. One should study on regular basis, on everyday basis, at least for 2 hours, 3 hours minimum. One should study Srimad Bhagavatam. If this is not happening, if we are not able to study Srimad Bhagavatam on a daily basis, that means we are not nourished properly in our Krishna consciousness. We need to understand that Srimad Bhagavatam is like food for soul. How? Why food for soul? Now, why we need, now we eat every day after 9 o'clock, we will go and take prasad, right? That is nourishment for the body. And there are different vegetables there, 2-3 vegetables are there, salad is there, this is there, that is there, everything is there. So we eat that, and our body gets nourished, right? So we might be healthy or we might be sick. In all the situations, we need food. If we are healthy, we eat the opulent food. If we are unhealthy, if we are sick, then there is change of a diet. But in both the circumstances, we need food, right? For the nourishment of the body. So, similarly, our soul also needs food in all the circumstances. And what is the food for the soul? Is Krishna Katha. We cannot neglect Krishna Katha in any given situation, either in a healthy situation or an unhealthy situation. In both the circumstances, we need Krishna Katha. And if no Srimad Bhagavatam, if you're not hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, if you're not reading Srimad Bhagavatam, if you're not glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam, then what happens? Just like a person, if he does not take prasad for 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, what will happen? He'll gradually become weak. If you're not taking shelter of Bhagavatam on daily basis, what will happen is, we will become weak. And then it affects our other devotional activities also. If our body is nourished, if our body is healthy, then we will be able to do all the work, all the services enthusiastically. Similarly, if our soul is nourished, we will be able to do every activity of devotional service with proper understanding, with proper consciousness. Otherwise, if we are not nourished properly, then chanting also is not chanting. Because while chanting also we don't think of Krishna. While washing the pots, we don't think of Krishna. While doing different devotional service also, we are not able to think of Krishna. Why? Or we are not even in proper consciousness. Why? Because we are not nourished properly. And because there is no proper stabilized studying or stabilized hearing of Krishna Katha. So even while performing devotional service, if our mind is affected by the materialism in the devotional service, then we shall understand that we are not studying properly, we are not hearing properly, we are not glorifying the Supreme Lord enough. That is the missing point. So when we take food, we are nourished and all our activities are performed nicely. Similarly, in devotional service also, hearing of Krishna Katha is very, very significant, very, very most important thing. Reading of scriptures is the most important thing. And then that will make our life blissful and happy. And every activity we do, devotional activity we do, will increase, will enhance our love for Krishna. That is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. It changes everything in our life. And then further, there was, when Lord Brahma was asked questions from Sanat Kumar, and Brahma was not able to understand, because Brahma was bewildered in the work activities of creation, and he forgot a lot of things. So Brahma was thinking, what should I answer to four Kumaras? And then finally, Lord Hamsa appeared, and Lord Hamsa he answered on behalf of Brahma. So and then further, what happens is that Uddhavji, he was planning to. Then there is a story of Avanti Brahmana as well. So Lord Krishna explains about the Avanti Brahmana. There was a Brahmana who was a very miser. Neither he enjoyed the money which he was earning, neither he enjoyed himself, neither he allowed his family to enjoy. And throughout his life, he lived a life of a miser. He was very, very protective and careful of his wealth. But there was a time when he lost everything, his family members, his wealth and everything. He renounced it, and then that incident of everything going away, it developed renunciation in his heart. And then he said to himself that neither mortal persons, the demigod, the soul, the ruling planets, the reactions of the work, nor time are the causes of one's happiness and distress. The causes of one's happiness and distress is the mind alone. The mind can alone cause you problems, and mind can alone cause you happiness. So this is what the Avanti Brahman therefore became very determined, very fixed up to perform devotional service. Then he took sannyas and he started roaming like a mendicant throughout the world. And while he was traveling like a mendicant, like a madman, people used to disturb him, people used to trouble him, people used to throw things at him. They used to not serve him properly. Still he tolerated everything. And he performed bhajan. He performed devotional service for Lord Hari. Then there is a further description about the disappearance of the Yadu dynasty. Yadu dynasty, Uddhavji left to Badrika ashram. Yadu dynasty was annihilated because the curse acted. And once, when in Prabhas Kshetra, after giving all the charity and everything to Brahmanas, they had a party. They were celebrating and they drank liquor. And then there was a few bamboo sticks there. Actually, that mess was cut into pieces and threw in the ocean. And then it was eaten by the fish. It was somehow, it was so arranged that it got converted into bamboos. And, all the bamboos were picked up by the Yadu dynasty, just started beating and fighting with each other. And in this way, the Yadu dynasty annihilated. And Uddhava was in Badrika ashram. He was missing Lord Krishna so much that he came back. And then Lord Krishna was sitting under a banyan tree. And Uddhava reached there. Maitreya Muni reached there. And there is another conversation here between Uddhava, Maitreya and Lord Krishna. This is different than the Uddhav Gita. Uddhav Gita was spoken in Dwarka. This was a special discussion about Srimad Bhagavatam, about Krishna's name, fame, pastimes. So that this is where Lord Krishna gave instructions to Maitreya Rishi that please help Vidura attain perfection in life. And then there was a hunter who mistakenly he pierced the arrow, and that arrow entered the lotus feet of the Lord. And then that hunter came and asked for forgiveness from the Lord, and the Lord forgave him and said to him, "This is all because of my desire, so you don't have to worry." And he gave him the Jara, his name was Jara, he gave him the abode of Vaikuntha, he sent him to Vaikuntha. And then Baladev also went on the shore of the ocean, and with his mystic strength, he gave up his body. So Balram is annihilated, Balram is left, Vaidurana is annihilated, Lord Krishna left. And then Krishna also disappeared from the world, and he also instructed everybody else that all those who are in Dwarka should also leave to Indraprastha, because Dwarka is also going to sink. So there are few who were in Dwarka, who left. So, and then Yudhishthira Maharaj enthroned Parikshit as the king of the world. Yudhishthira Maharaj enthroned Vajranab as the king of Mathura. He gave the whole kingdom to Parikshit, and even the Pandavas also disappeared. That we see in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then comes the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a description about the symptoms of the age of Kali. Kali Yuga is very glorious. Very, very glorious. There is no age as glorious as Kali Yuga. Why? Because Krishna is easily available in Kali Yuga. It's very easily available. Kam Krishnam lati dadati eti Kali. So, in different yugas, there are, Satyuga had a long age. A person lives for a long, long time. And in Satyuga, the process of attaining the Lord also is very difficult. It's performing intense tapasya for thousands of years. Then as the Treta approaches, the sacrifices become prominent. And as Dwapar Yuga approaches, the worship of the temples, the deities, becomes prominent. And then when Kali Yuga approaches, then none of the above processes actually work. And only one thing is there, bhakti. In earlier yugas, there are different processes that are active. But in the age of Kali, bhakti is the only way by which one can get out from the cycle of birth and death. And how can one get bhakti? Which shop in which shop in Germany can we get bhakti? We have any mall here which distributes bhakti? No. Bhakti is attained by the holy association of pure unalloyed devotees of the Lord. And what should one do in their association? One should discuss Krishna Katha. And what happens, what is the best source of Krishna Katha? It's Srimad Bhagavatam. Why Srimad Bhagavatam? Because in Srimad Bhagavatam there are so many questions and answers related to Lord Krishna, His name, His fame, His pastimes. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the best way of attaining perfection in this age of Kali. And the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is the chanting of the Hare Krishna of the holy name of the Supreme Lord. So is Bhagavatam's instructions to us. That's why we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. But this age of Kali is very, very glorious. But there are so many faults in this age of Kali. As the age of Kali progresses, all the good qualities of the men become diminished. All the impure qualities increase. And atheistic symptoms of so-called religion become very, very prominent. So the kings, they become like dacoits, and all the social classes become like a Shudra. All the cows become like a goat, and all the spiritual places of hermitages become like a materialistic homes, and the family ties are only limited only to the husband and wife. Not more than that. Relationship does not go beyond that. And when the age of Kali is almost going to end, at that time Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to appear in the village of Sambhala, in the home of an exalted Brahmana called as Vishnu Yasha, and his name will be Kalki. And he will mount on his horse, Devadatta, and with sword in his hand, he's going to kill all the millions of dacoits who are in the form of a king. He'll kill all of them. And then the signs of the next Satyuga is going to begin. So when the moon, when the sun, the planet Brihaspati enters simultaneously into one constellation and conjoin into lunar mansion Pushya, Satyuga begins. So, and then again Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, this goes on. This is cycle. Just like we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Then we have month, January, February, March, April, May, June, like that. If you go behind, then there are, then there is different calendar and different calendar. So this calendar, if you see the traditional calendar, old calendar, then we are in a certain day of Brahma, in a certain Manvantara, and we are right now in the 28th Manvantara of the 7th Manu. So this is the current situation. And then further to this, there is in the age of Satya, the religion was complete. And still possessing its 4 legs of truth, mercy, austerity, and charity. When the Treta started, it diminished by 1/4. In the Kali Yuga, the religion was almost religion only retained on 1/4 of their power, and even that will be lost as it is going to progress. So the mode of goodness is prominent in Satyuga. The mode of passion is prominent in Treta Yuga. The mode of passion and mode of ignorance is prominent in Dwapar Yuga, and the mode of ignorance is prominent in Kali Yuga. That is our good fortune. So we are all actually in mode of ignorance, because the age of, it is not your or our fault, it is the time is such. The time is such. And then further, further to this, then there is a description about how Parikshit leaves the body. Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj are discussing so many subject matters, and then finally Shukdev Goswami asked Parikshit, is there anything else I can help you with? Whatever questions you have asked me, I have submitted them. I have humbly presented that to you. Is there anything else you want me to help you with? And he said, Parikshit Maharaj says, Hey Gurudev, Anujanihi Mam Brahman Vasam Yasyam Yadoksaje Mukta Kama Shayam Cheta Praveshya Visrajami Asun. He's saying, Gurudev, by your causeless mercy, I am able to fix my mind into Lord Adoksaja. My senses are purified, my whole existence is purified. I need your permission that I can give up my body and attain the abode of the Lord. Remember, Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. Takshak has not yet come, but Parikshit Maharaj is requesting Shukdev Goswami, please allow me to give up my body on my own. And Shukdev Goswami says, Tathastu. And Parikshit Maharaj fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Adokshaj and gives up his body and enters the abode of the Lord. He enters Vaikuntha. And Takshak came, just like we burn the dead body of a person, Takshak came and burned the dead body of Parikshit Maharaj. But before Takshak came, Parikshit Maharaj, by the mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam, by the mercy of Srila Shukadeva Goswami, his spiritual master, he attained perfection. So our life is also, we have a fixed life, destined to die in a certain day. So our goal of our life should be that before that day comes, we should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, we should take shelter of sadhus, and in their association perfect our existence. And so that we are prepared ourselves for the death. So, and then there is a description of a lot of Puranic literatures. And then a very interesting Markandeya Muni prays to Naranarayan Rishi that he wants to see Maya because he never saw Maya. We never saw Krishna, and Markandeya Muni says, I have never seen Maya. So Markandeya Muni says, okay, so he was in his ashram. And all of a sudden things started changing. The annihilation began and everything began. He was floating in the waters of annihilation for a good amount of time. And then finally, we're ending you be there. Be there. Wanted to go. Today is the last session. Sit down. Let the prasad be late, no problem. So, so Markandeya Rishi, he actually saw the whole annihilation. And finally, he was actually dying at the same time, not dying, he was drowning. And it seemed that Markandeya Rishi might die, but it was not going because he was drowning in that ocean of water of annihilation. And finally, he saw a rope. He was struggling. He was struggling that how can I come out from this? And then finally, he saw a leaf on which a baby, Krishna, was lying. And then Markandeya Muni saw and he started going in that direction. And all of a sudden everything entered into that little boy. And then Markandeya Rishi, when he woke up, he was still in his ashram. So that was the Krishna's special arrangement for him to see Maya. So then Lord Shiva and Parvati came there. They glorified Markandeya Rishi. They both discussed Krishna Katha. And then, then there is a summary description of the different topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a before we end the 12th canto, Suta Goswami, before he ends, he again summarizes the whole Srimad Bhagavatam to the rishis of Naimisharanya. Then he glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam, glorifies Parikshit Maharaj, and then he ends the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So before I could close my talk, I want to sincerely thank dear Lord Narasimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj for giving me an opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam in front of you. So I am very, very grateful. I just request all the assembled devotees here that please shower your blessings on me. And whatever good has come out from my heart, please take that. And whatever unpalatable garbage which came out from my mouth because of the conditioning, so keep that with me only. You can take the good part, and please bless me that my life I have given for Bhagavatam. So please bless me, empower me that I can continue to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam till my last breath. And I want to sincerely thank Lord Narasimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj for being so kind and merciful, for allowing me a chance to glorify the Lord, your pastimes in front of you. And thank you, Govindadev Prabhu, and all the devotees who very sincerely attended. Some of them were hearing online and everything, but there are a few of them who came and attended sincerely. So thank you so much. Because of you, I received a lot of encouragement and got an opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is a procedure, there is a system traditionally that you should share your realization, what have you derived from Bhagavatam in terms of what is your takeaway. Not to glorify the speaker, this is not meant for glorification of the speaker, but it is to understand your realization, what is your favorite topic from the Bhagavatam and which said, wow, and that inspired you, that transformed your life. So in 30 seconds or 40 seconds, each one of you is requested to just say what was your inspiration be like. Go ahead, the mic. We can start with you. Yes.
Thank you. It was very nectarian, the few lectures that we attended. And we worship Krishna Balaram at home. Maybe you can come and visit them. And during the puja, I listening to classes of Srila Prabhupada, but I'm not regularly reading, I have to admit. And it was very inspiring, making me very serious that, yes, to give food to this, to nourish the soul by reading regularly. And that was for me the most important part.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
you.
much. Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, many thanks for sharing the knowledge with us. For me, the most inspiring were two things. One was, of course, the stories and how the stories depict our own lives into different situations and what we can learn, and how the jivas get delivered just by doing devotional service to the Lord. And the second was your knowledge into the subject matter. It's very inspiring to see someone having such in-depth knowledge into the Bhagavatam subject. That's very inspiring and definitely inspires us to read at least 2 to 3 hours every day. So thank for this inspiration.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I realize how Srimad Bhagavatam is a huge bank of knowledge. And for me is, how to say, I'm so insignificant to learn all this stories with philosophy and so on, go deep in Srimad Bhagavatam, and something like this. Experience of something very huge.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for this nectar. I joined maybe from 7th Canto, from the between. So I'm just regretting why couldn't I join from the first, because this was my first Katha, Bhagavad Katha, I would say, in whole 27, 28 years, wherein I could get an overview of whole Bhagavatam in this 6-7 days. And the most inspiration was for me to go and read Srimad Bhagavatam and have more Rasmalayam, the nectar. And yes, I definitely relished the Leelas, like Damodar Leela yesterday, and then the Narsimha Leela start for the first day. So yes, this Leela, actually I was able to imagine and I was able to relish how the things would be. Like in Vrindavan, when we go to have Darshan Stali of Raman Reti and then Damodar, Dauji, all the places. So I was able to meditate whole Vrindavan Dham when you were speaking on Bhagavatam. So that was actually connecting my heart back to Vrindavan again and all the holy places. So thank you very much for the nectar, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. For me, the realization was that it seemed so huge, Srimad Bhagavatam, and hardly kind of far away, and maybe I need the whole lifetime to get a little bit into it. So for me, it was more like feeling it reachable somehow, like that I can also get in contact with it.
Which was the most inspiring incident for you from the entire Bhagavatam? Which inspired you a lot?
You mean episode? Or?
Yeah, episode. Which episode was more relishing for you? It shook your mind. What disturbed your mind?
Nothing came to my mind.
Nothing disturbed you?
No, plenty of, but not something particular.
Okay. Anybody else want to share their liking of the subject matter? Any episodes of your liking?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for the Srimad Bhagavatam Katha.
Thank you for the translation.
You're welcome.
Translation is an amazing service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaran, all in one go.
It was a great pleasure, yeah.
We'll take a picture together.
So, which episode I liked the most was the episode of Maharaj Parikshit. I'm just very inspired how you talked also about him, how he was such a devoted king that everybody was Krishna conscious at that time, and he could even remove the age of Kali. And you also said one nice practical point that one should pray to get rid of the tendency to offend other Vaishnavas or to criticize other Vaishnavas. So that also stuck with me. It's a very important point.
Thank you. Anybody else? Give it to Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for this very inspiring Bhagavatam retreat. And I think for me the most inspiring thing was to see like that every devotee have like his very individual relationship and story with Krishna. And yeah, I think I love also most the story about Prahlad and Nrsimhadev. It was so nice to hear about the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah, and it's a great example for us.
End with Parikshit Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. I'm really still not satisfied. I'm still frustrated ever since I missed the first lecture, and then what do you call it? A snowball effect. Many more lectures I also missed afterwards. I thought, I saw the great opportunity before you came, Prabhu, that, okay, here's the book Bhagavatam coming to us to be spoken by the person Bhagavatam in 14 days or in less than even 14 days.
18 sessions?
18 sessions. So I saw the opportunity before, and I was thinking it's impossible I make it to every lecture because of work obligations, but still I tried my best. And it's just amazing to see the change of our consciousness, during the day, change of our japa when we daily try to attentively listen. And that is a practice that I myself tried at the beginning of my Krishna consciousness and then forgot about it, forgot about the importance of attentive hearing. So, the most of the time when you were talking about these conversations between the inquisitiveness of Maitreya Muni,
Vidurji.
From Viduraji or from Maharaj Parikshit and so on, and the sages of Naimisharanya was really, that moved me the most, you could say. And the main realization that how daily hearing of the Bhagavatam, either by listening or by reading, just associating with the Bhagavatam, can really transform our lives. And at the very beginning, you also mentioned that when we daily serve the Bhagavatam and read, you said, I guarantee to you that all your desires will be fulfilled.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll end that. I want to take a picture with all of you. So we can all come here. It will be my remembrance of this retreat. Can you remove this?